Well, good morning and welcome to another episode of Adam's Angling Adventures. I cannot tell you how good it feels to be out. We're in the middle of lockdown number 3, and thanks to all the hard work at the Angling Trust, we can fish locally and days only. We're at the wonderful Churchgate fisheries. I cannot wait to get started, and this is actually the first time I've been day ticket carping for I don't know how long, many years. So I'm not going to hang about, I'm going to get in the swim and hopefully catch 1 or 2 carp. Well, we've got our starting point. We're going to be fishing peg number 4. Now this is actually a booking facility here at Churchgate, so the swim we've actually booked is 4, but 3 and 5 are available as there's nobody booked on today. And Jodie has kindly given us permission to fish either of those swims if we want to make a move. Now what I've decided to do, I've gone in peg 4 because I like the look of a spot in peg 3, but I can hit it from here. And I think as it's normally a booking facility on here, obviously people are normally having their line angles from 3 to that spot, so just having that slight different line angle could be all the difference. The other great thing about this swim is it commands quite a big chunk of the island. Now that's going to give us the opportunity for 3, 4, 5 different spots along that island, fishing tight to little stumps and overhangs. So the choices in here I think are the greatest. But like I say, we have got to move to the right if need be, and we can go to the left if that spot isn't really fishable from here. But I'm going to stop talking because I'm really excited and I want to get some rods out and hopefully and get a quick bite. Right, well while we wait for the mist to clear a little bit, because I can't quite see the island properly yet, or the snags, so I don't want to go having a chuck at them and end up losing a load of leads first thing. I'm just tying up a few bags in readiness. One, to be super organised in case we catch a few fish, but secondly, casting tight to objects like snags and islands, inevitably you're going to get a few wrong, a bit short, just a tiny bit long, so I want to have plenty done up just in case I have a few disasters so that I can quickly get one re-chucked and back out on the money. Now tactics wise today, I've got a few options with us. The one I'm going to start with and the one I'm hedging my bets on is a maggot approach. So it's just a little delicate maggot rig, a few little maggots, a little bit of popped up corn and a nice stocking full of red wrigglers. And then on the other rod, I may fish 3 because we've got that option down the left hand side, so it might be a case of putting a couple on the maggots, and then the other one I'm going to fish my ever faithful salty squid bottom baits that I've taken time to Gucci up a little bit over little small bags of 10mm cell. So we're going to have 2 options, a live and a food bait option. So really we just need the carp to play ball because we've got some nice things for them, and then hopefully we can identify a winning method and I can go out over to fishing that method on all 3 rods. That's the plan anyway. We'll get a few more of these tied up. I reckon we've got about another 5 minutes till that mist clears, and then we can start getting the rods clipped up, and I can talk you through that process, which hopefully will help you if you've not done any of that before. It's actually quite an easy process, providing you take your time and do it methodically, and hopefully you'll be fishing tight up to islands and snags by the end of this episode, unless I don't catch nothing, and then you probably won't bother. That's lovely. We'll try that. That'll get us a rod out, G. Right, well we're happy with our first rod. This is going to be our middle rod, and we found a lovely hard patch tight up to the island. The lead's come back with loads of little scuffs on it, so I know we're lovely clean gravel there, and I can drill it tight into that island, and I'm going to be fishing absolutely perfectly. It's taken me a couple of casts, but now I've got it, I've clipped up, so I know now I'm going to land straight on the money. All I've got to do now is clip on one of these stockings and get it out there.
Whoa, you're not going to wrap up?
Ah, good point. I'm going to wrap up first so that if we do have a fish, I can get it straight back out there and I know exactly how many wraps it'll be. Good point, Glas. I'm glad you're here for once. Right, that's the first rod wrapped up. I now know it's 10 1/4 wraps to that middle rod spot, so I'll make a note of that in my phone, and that way if we do have another fish or we want to have a recast, we can simply clip it up to 10 1/4 wraps and we're going to be back on the money. Right, first things first, we've got to mount this stock in. Now you might have wondered when I was placing them down why I had such a long tag. Now the reason I've got that is because that's what I use to tie to the bottom of my swivel at the bottom of the lead. So all I do now is flare that out a little bit, cut myself 2 ties, just a neat little line down the middle. Doesn't have to be super sharp as long as you've got equidistance each side. And then we go straight through the big eye of the swivel at the bottom of my lead. And then no rocket science here, a couple of overhand granny knots. And then all I do is trim the tag ends off, like everything to be nice and neat. And then the next step is grab the rig, pop the little point protector off there, and then what we've got here is a little bit of pop-up corn, and then at the bottom of that is another small size 14 hook, which is what's going to hold 3 live red maggots. I simply pop the hook out the bottom of the corn, pick myself 3 maggots I think that are going to do the job. It's a little bit more science in that than you think. You've got to have 3 good ones. These are a little bit lethargic, they've been in the bucket for 24 hours, but I'm sure they'll come back to life. So we mount 3 maggots on there, and then we simply turn that point back round and put it back into the artificial corn, and then we've got a lovely little pop-up rig there, which can be mounted now to our little quick change swivel. Like so, pull the anti-tangle sleeve over, and then the bottom of the rig simply nicks in the bottom of the bag, like that. And that is as good a presentation as you'll get for fishing maggot. Let's see if it does the job. Say that's not quite tight enough. Think that's tight enough? It's hard to tell, isn't it? Right, rod number 2. It's gone very misty, so I've got to trust my wraps here. Oh, I don't know if that was a little bit short, you know. I think it was. I think I must be slightly left of that. I'm going to redo that. I'm not happy with that. Got to be happy with it. On these short days, if you don't get it right first time, don't just think that'll do, because it won't. Yes, you could still catch one, but I want to sit back knowing I'm absolutely perfect on all 3. Right, let's have another go. Just standing slightly further forward of my spot. That's better. Right on that stump. Right, that's 2 out there. Let's see if we can sort that left-hand rod out. This spot we're going to fish here is normally fished from peg number 3. So we're going to try and fish it at a slightly different angle. It's going to be a difficult cast because I can't quite make out the overhangs on the branches from here. So I'm going to have to be a bit ginger with it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll have a couple of casts, see if we can get it right. If it doesn't work, we've got that move later on and we can go and put a bit of bait in maybe down on that spot and move the rod further down the bank. But we'll have a couple of goes anyway and see if we can get it where we're half happy. Right, just going to go and have a look, G, all right?
What are you doing out there?
I let Gaz have a go for 2 seconds and he's cast straight in the tree. Well, I'm happy with that. I didn't think we'd be able to get that rod out from this swim because I can't quite see the overhang, but I've managed to go just to the right hand side of it. It's a lovely little gravel area, so that'll do for the third rod. Right, and on this one, I'm gonna go for the ever faithful bottom bait and my little salty squid numbers. Cool, they smell lovely then. They don't taste quite so nice though. Pop that on there. That's lovely. And now we're just going to do up a little bag, a 10mm cell, and hopefully that'll catch us one. Well, that's right on the money, that. I was worried about hitting it from here with those trees, but that's as good as I can get it from either swim. Well, I've got to mention this. If you are coming to Churchgate, let the owner know the day before when you start your session and they bring you up a nice full English breakfast or a bacon and egg sarnie. A few quid, it's a nice little touch, save you cooking and fill a bit of time in between bites. Well, how about that? That didn't take very long at all. I said that one was right on the money, jammed right in tight to that island. It's taken no more than about 40 minutes. Just finished that lovely bacon and egg sandwich. And we've got our first bite. Just trying to steer it around these other 2 lines. It's upsetting. I don't feel a monster, but nice to get a start. Nice to be out, to be honest. It's been quite a while now. I think since November since I went carp fishing, but a long time since I went carp day ticket fishing. It's fantastic to get a bend in the rod. It's not too far away now. I think it's quite a ghosty. Number 1, in you go. Lovely. Don't believe it. Well, there you go. Same rod as well. And what that highlights is unclipping that rig and getting that rod back out again, because if we hadn't have done that and we'd have just had the photo done and dealt with the fish, we wouldn't have had this bite. So now we've got one to photograph and we're playing one. Can't be bad for a day's sport. Who's ready? Oh, up you come. Bit smaller this one, little common, but he's fish number 2. Well, that was a bit of a result, wasn't it? 2 fish in about 10 minutes, both off the same rod. And like I said before, just shows the importance. You've got to get that rod back out there, because these short winter feeding spells can be just like that, 2 in 15 minutes. So I'm going to get them out now. One of them's a little bit better than the other one, so we just slip this little common back, and then we'll get the mirror out and have a better look at him. Bit you back. Try and catch ourselves a bigger version. Well, here he is, the first one of the trip, and our first one from Churchgate Fisheries, and more importantly, first fish of 2021. This one, along with that small little common, is the perfect start. And if that carries on, hopefully we'll have a few more. And this is one of the real babies for here, so this is the smallest, or if that common's the smallest of the trip, this is the next size up. Hopefully we can kick on again and have one of the lake's larger residents. But that will certainly do on a cold old February day. That's got to be on, isn't it? Going buttery. Just so nice to be out again. With all the doom and gloom that's going on, thank God we can get out and at least do a bit of day fishing. And it's got me thinking again and making a bit of effort, getting a few bits ready, preparing a bit of bait and making the effort to go out and just fish for the day, because I'm predominantly a session angler, 24 hours minimum, unless it's another discipline of fishing. But my carp fishing over the last couple of years has certainly been all at least 24 hours or more. So it's nice just to come out for the day. Not a lot of prep needed. And we can have a lovely day's sport like this. Cool. Putting up a good account for himself. I'm glad I swapped over to my lighter rods. £3 test curve, these ones. Great fun. Oh yeah. It'll do very nicely. In you go. Fish number 3 is ours. Fantastic. Oh yeah, he's a little bit bigger, that one. Wow, nearly lost the rod there. There's me just saying that it's all action on that right hand rod and the left hand rod down that reed line that we thought we were going to struggle to get a rod on. There's near enough javelined into the water. That was brilliant. Don't feel a particularly big fish, but nice to get another rod working. That's a recurring theme here. We net one, try and get the other rod back out, and another rod goes. Brilliant, brilliant winter action. Another little cricket-back common. That's what funny that is. Nice little mirror, cricket-back common. There's a little routine going here. In you come, little fella. Lovely. Number 3. Got to get another rod fishing. We've only got one rod fishing. I've caught a tree carp. He's got it back. That's the skill of the man, you see. He knows exactly the amount of pressure needed to get it back out of a 75-foot oak tree. Let's try that again. It's the hog, isn't it? Well, that's a bite on all 3 rods now, so we've got them all rocking. I was literally just making a change to that rod down the left-hand side. I just had a fish on it, but it was another small common, and I thought, I'm on quite small baits on all 3 rods, so I've changed over to a slightly bigger baiting approach with a larger pop-up, and I was just going to go and catapult 2 or 3 pouches of 10 millers over the top, trying to track something a little bit bigger. And the middle rod's gone, and it feels like an okay one as well. And we've got that lovely problem that comes along every now and again, where we've got 2 nets, we're fishing down there, and we haven't got another one, so we're going to have to try a bit of the old netting one with another fish already in there. But I've taken the rigs out of both, so we're all right. We should be able to just drop it in the left-hand net, hopefully. And he's ours. Lovely, fish number 4. Well, would you believe it? The last rod that we've got fishing has ramped off, and now we really have got a problem. We've got 2 carp in one net, 1 carp in the other. So now if we can get this in, we're going to have a couple of fish in each net. Is that greedy or what? Well, feeling like I'd have a nice one, to be honest. The stamp's definitely improved. We had them 2 smaller commons, and now we seem to be getting amongst a few nicer mirrors, which is nice. And more importantly, all 3 rods are doing bites, so we really have got lots of chances now for one of the lake's better residents. Oh yeah, he's a little deep one. That's going to be close to 20, I think. In you go. Go on. Yep. Lovely. That's 2 in that one. 2 in the other one. And they're certainly getting a little bit bigger. I don't quite think he's a 20-pounder, he's too short, but he's a little fat boy. And that's 2 lovely, lovely double-figured fish. Well, this is turning into just the most bonkers session. I don't know how many we've had now. I've got a feeling this is number 9, but I'm guessing. And we've got 3 or 4 fish down there still to photograph, and we're just not getting the chance. I don't think I'm going to bother putting this rod back out, but this is just fantastic fishing. Even though we're locked down at the moment and we can't get out and do our usual sessions that we all love to do, we can get out, make a little bit of effort, and fish the days, and you can be rewarded with just the most fantastic fishing if you pick the right venue. And Churchgate Fisheries is somewhere I'll certainly be coming back. Well, this is absolute carnage. 2 rods gone at once. I've picked them both up, but the old cameraman's going to have to put the camera down and help me land, or at least get one of these halfway back, because this one's nearly ready for the net. What a session. Churchgate Fisheries, get on it. Well, that has been one of the most craziest spells I've had for I don't know how long. Remember, we're in February and we're days only, and we are just having the most crazy action down here at Churchgate. I don't know how many carp we've got behind cameraman Gaz to show you, but this is only one. Whoa, easy. This is only one, if it lets me hold it up. Got a bit of fight left in it still. This is only one of quite a few, and a mixture of lovely commons and mirrors. Let's slip this one back and show you a few of the others. Come on. Well, how about that? A slightly bigger one and a really, really pretty one, all part of that carnage spell this morning. We've just slipped a couple of smaller mirrors back and a little common. I think maybe even another one, I've lost count to be honest. We're soaking wet, we're freezing cold, but we're having a great time. Absolutely superb. We've got 2 more to show you, believe it or not. Both of them commons, and both of them bigger than this one. Cool, well how about that for an odd shaped, chunky monkey? Absolutely beautiful. My hands are freezing. It is absolutely ice cold, that water, but it's certainly not stopping these feeding. That was so enjoyable, that mad spell, and it just goes to show you getting out there for the day is just all you need sometimes. I don't even think I could cope with a night. So let's get this slipped back and I'll show you the biggest one. You never know, we might even catch another one before the day's out. Oh, well there it is, the biggest of that madness. What a crazy, crazy spell. And this lovely chunky common is the last of, I don't know how many fish that ended up being in the end. But what a spell of fishing and what a time to be out on the bank. February, it's freezing, we're soaking wet, but the carp are certainly feeding. Let's see if we can catch another one. Well, I think that's the first cup of coffee I've managed to make today for both me and Gaz, and we're actually enjoying drinking it. We've got a little bit of a lull in the action, which I have to say is actually quite welcome. I was absolutely freezing, but I've had a change of clothes now, nice and warm, and we are coming to the end of the day. However, I have got tomorrow as well, so we're really looking forward to getting back tomorrow and having another go. Now I'm going to try something slightly different tomorrow. We're going to try and search out one of these bigger fish. And what I'm going to do on the left-hand rod is go on a heavy boilie approach. And before I go home tonight, I'm going to put probably a kilo and a half in of 10 millers and just see whether the boilie approach brings the better fish. It might not, but we can give it a go. But tomorrow we'll try a few more tactics, and if we have a day half as good as today, we're in for a real treat. Well, good morning. We are back at it, and I am absolutely shattered. I got home last night. By the time we got home, I had a live to do with Jerry. Then I had to tie up about 20 rigs, knowing that it could be another really busy day today, so I'm absolutely shattered. But I'm eager to get the day started again. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I've jumped out of the van and I'm going to rebait this spot that we baited up last night. I'm going to try and give it a bit more bait this morning and just hope that that heavy boilie approach can entice one of the larger residents. 10mm cell. 4 more of the salty squids. So, for this slightly different approach today, and to try and search out a slightly bigger fish, I'm going for my ever faithful pop-up rig. A nice salty squid pink pop-up to match the 3 or 4 handfuls of salty squid. 15mm I put down there, and obviously we've got the 10mm cell that we put in last night. So we've got a decent bed of boilie down there. So if there is a big, hungry mirror all common, we're not choosy. Hopefully this will pick them up, because we had a lot of fish yesterday and it was quite varied between the salty squid bottom baits and the little maggot rigs, but I'd have to say the little maggot rigs won the day yesterday, which means it was the little bits and pieces really that were doing the damage, which is no surprise this time of year. But if there is a big hungry mirror all common down there, you never know. He's big for a reason. He's going to want to feel that big belly. Let's hope that lovely little pink pop-up and the bed of boilie sorts him out. Well, here's a nice little tip for you and a little edge sometimes, and that's the bait sprays from Mainline. Now, that salty squid pop-up is obviously already oozing with attraction, but you can never give it too much, and I like to use the shellfish and black pepper one with the salty squids. And more than anything, I like the fact when I'm handling those pop-ups with my hands, and I've been touching all sorts of other things as I've got into the swim and while I'm getting ready, I just like the fact it just takes the scent of my own hands off it. So you just give it a good shake, a couple of good blasts like that, doesn't matter where it goes, hook, pop-up, I like to give it quite a few, and then that there has just given you just that little bit more attraction and hopefully snare us a quick bite. Well, that's all 3 rods out on the spots. Fairly happy. The left-hand one I'm really happy with. The 2 island ones were really difficult to get out. The sunshine is directly into my face. I'm looking directly into the sun trying to cast them 2 rods out, so it's quite difficult. We'll give them an hour or so, and if not, the sun will hopefully have moved around a little bit and I'll have a bit of a better view on that island. But I wouldn't swap that sun for anything. This is a stereotypical perfection winter's morning to be out on the bank carp fishing. We've had a beautiful sunrise, we've got mist rising off the lake, and we've got loads of anticipation for another day full of carp, hopefully. We've rung them changes. That's what I'm most excited about, I think. Gone with that straight boilie approach, and hopefully we can see whether that winkles out the better fish It has done in the past for me, so we'll see how it goes. But if we catch a few more like those ones yesterday, I'll be more than happy. But I'm going to stick the kettle on now. Jodie, the owners, let us down this morning on the old brekkie, so I guess I'll have to do it for me and Gaz. So I'm going to stick some bacon on, have another couple of cups of coffee, and hopefully the next time you see us, I'll be playing one of these lovely Churchgate carp. Well, there you go. There's me saying I'm not 100% happy with the island rods, and the middle rod has ramped off, and that's a much earlier bite than yesterday. I think we had to wait a couple of hours or so for the first bite yesterday, so got to be happy with that. And I've just stuck the sandwich toaster on to do a little bit of bacon as well, so the timing wasn't very good, but at least we haven't started it, so we can get this fish in, then hopefully I can make the cameraman's breakfast. Oh, yes! That's cool, you'll have that take as well. Well, it seems the old carnage from yesterday has continued. We've got that one in the net resting. Thought we'll just have a bacon sandwich while it gets its energy back. Re-chuck the rod, and Gaz's phone's going off, which is really, really annoying. So try one more time.
Yeah.
Then that's the end of the road then, though.
Yeah.
Then I'm cutting the line.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the carnage from yesterday has continued. One in the net. I thought we'd let it rest up while we just have a quick bacon sarnie, re-chuck the rod, and within 5–10 minutes it's gone again. So it looks like we're in for another action-packed day. But when I get this one in, we will finish that bacon sandwich before I cast it back out, just in case, I think. There he goes. Fish number 2 of the day. Nearly. There he goes. In you go. Lovely. Getting to become a bit of a regular occurrence, this. Well, here he is. Fish number 1 of the day. A nice chunky mirror and a nice way to get day 2 started. We also had another one, as you saw, straight after. Bit smaller, that one, about 10 or 11 pounds, so we let him go in the net once I pop the hook out. But he'll do, put up a good account for himself, this one. Let's slip him back, because we are after his big brother or sister. Well, it's gone quiet, believe it or not, for how the action has been for us anyway. I think we've gone about an hour or so now since that bacon sandwich, so I'm just having a bit of a freshen up, reposition this rod on the island. I can't see that well again because of the sun, but we'll try and get it as close as we can. Well, not as tight as I'd like it, but I think that could be a bite. Hello. There you go. The carnage from yesterday has continued. We've got 2 on, and the old cameraman's going to have to shut the camera down for a second and help me with this. He's yours. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? It's always good when you have to draft Gaz in for one of the rods. And I had a bit of a decision to make there. Which one do I hand to him? Don't want him having the biggest one. And I think I've made the right decision. It feels like a really nice fish, this one. Saw it just now, it's a nice common. I think it might be one of the biggest we've had so far. So yeah, have a great day down at Churchgate. To keep reminding myself we're in February. That is more like like it. That's a really chunky fish. Well, they don't come much better than that in the February sun. And what a manic spell that was. We've got 3 for you to look at, but we're only going to show you this one. I'm going to slip the other one back. They're like peas in a pod, 2 cracking scale perfect commons. But the other one we've got in there is a little bit bigger and just the one we were after when we started the day. So just going to get a couple of stills of this, and then we'll show you one of the Churchgate bigger residents. Well, we said it looks a little bit bigger, and we've got the one we were after. Not quite the 30, just over 28.5 pounds, but absolutely mint condition. And I think you'll agree, that's about as good as it gets in February. A big old winter common, 28.5 pounds, and its mouth, its fins, its body, everything is absolute perfection. What a place it is here at Churchgate. If you've not been, I thoroughly recommend giving it a go, because as you can see, the action can be thick and fast. And we're in February, so God knows what it's going to be like in the spring and summer. What a great fish. Let's get a couple of pictures, slip it back, and there is still time for that 30-pounder. Action continues. I know I keep repeating myself, but this is unbelievable action for February. I think the rods ain't in the water no longer than about 10-15 minutes if we get it in the right place. Either one of those 2 spots we've got rocking, if we get the cast right, we get a bite. It's as simple as that. Nothing on the sleeper rod still, but we're not going to touch that. Persevering with that boilie rod. It might just be one of those sessions where they're just not eating the boilies, but I'm not giving up on that one. Cool. One thing that has been nice has been using these 12-foot 3-pound propels, my lighter rods. I haven't used them for a little while. Been using my 13-foot 3.5s for the last couple of years. Near enough all the time, so to get the lighter rods out as well, it's such good fun playing them. They've got such a nice tip on these. And that's the other thing as well when you come to places like this, you must balance your tackle right from your rigs to your main line to your rods to how you play them, because it makes the whole experience that more enjoyable when you're actually playing them, enjoying the fight. No need to drag them in. That's why we go to do it. This is the fun part. We've done all the hard work, found the spots, we've baited up. Now we get to enjoy the easy bit, which is playing them in. Take our time, and hopefully this will be fish number, this is going to be a complete guess, but I think 15 or 16, which is crazy. I think this is the first time I've actually sat down today and it feels really nice. We've got one rod left out, most of the stuff's packed up on the barra, and we've just finished with two really nice fish, the biggest being a beautiful mirror. It's just been remarkable. You know, we're in February and I think we finished on, we think, 21 carp. You know, just fishing days only. It's just absolutely remarkable. I can't remember the last time I caught 21 fish in a session. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's just been brilliant, and it just proves if you are put off with just getting out at the moment and fishing days only, we all like to camp, we all like to fish the nights, but that just proves that sometimes the best action can be during daylight hours. It feels more like spring the last 2 days, and catching fish of that magnitude has been unbelievable. I really hope you do get out there and fish over this period. We are going to be back out soon doing the nights, of course, but don't hesitate to get out and fish them days because the rewards can be there. Before we get that last rod in and stick it on the barra and get ourselves home, I just want to say a big thank you to Jody. He really has looked after me and Gaz the whole time we've been here, and if you've not checked out Churchgate Fisheries, make sure you do. Until then, if you are getting out angling over the next few weeks, make sure you put one on the bank for me, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next Adam's Angling Adventures.